Keep hearing talk of people saying that I should retire or I'm gonna retire soon or whatever. I ain't retiring anywhere. I've got 2 fights with Usyk for the undisputed twice. Then I'm gonna fight AJ at least once, maybe twice if there's a rematch, if he wants one, after the first battering I give him.
After losing to Usyk the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury has stated in the past that he has no plans to retire. After the bout, he too expressed his disappointment, saying the judges had taken advantage of him.
You got boys! Fucking rip me off there. Just run.
Many in the boxing community have been critical of the Gypsy King following the bout. But what have they said, and should Tyson Fury retire? Stay tuned and observe as we uncover the truth in this video. After his most recent defeat to Oleksandr Usyk, Tyson Fury's boxing career is under question. Despite putting on a strong fight, the Ukrainian boxer proved to be too strong for the Gypsy King and won by a tight split decision. Victory as of right now, Tyson Fury has suffered his first unwelcome loss in his 16-fight career. So it should come as no surprise that many are speculating about the former champion's future.
You know, he started this week off bullying a man half his size, and Tyson Fury ended this week off getting bullied by a man half his size. Is that karma? I think that might be karma. Oh, the little rabbit.
The Gypsy King has already responded to inquiries about retiring. The Gypsy King stated early in the year that he has no intention of retiring. He declared that, in addition to the rematch with Usyk and Francis Ngannou, he has 5 major matches scheduled. He also discussed the highly anticipated fight between Anthony Joshua and the British team. After the fight this past weekend, Fury reiterated that he had no intention of retiring in the wake of the Usyk defeat.
Country at war, but make no mistake, I won that fight in my opinion, and I'll be back. I've got a rematch clause. You know, I thank Jesus for all the victories he's given me. I've had a split decision loss for the good little man, and I thank him again in the mighty name of Jesus.
So Tyson Fury felt he won the majority of the rounds. He accepted the tricky nature of boxing judgments and commended Usyk's performance despite feeling he won. Fury is still kind and eager for the fight. Fury refers to the contract's rematch clause and states that he intends to use it, with an October rematch being his goal. He intends to relax, spend time with his family, and get ready for the next battle for the time being. Fury values the support from his teammates and supporters and is committed to reclaiming his crown. Additionally, Fury's promoter Frank Warren reaffirmed the rematch clause and said it will take place in accordance with the rules of the contract, stressing that Fury will ultimately make the final decision. However, Usyk demonstrated his preparedness for the rematch by declaring he is ready for vengeance and eager to put on another exciting battle. Fury and Usyk are prepared for their rematch, but what reaction did the boxing community have to offer? The response that surprised us the most was from British journalist Colin Hart.
And then I'm not surprised because I did pick him to win. Because I do think that Tyson is in decline. And I think if they have the return on October the 12th, Usyk will win even bigger.
Hart began by praising Usyk's outstanding performance and mentioning that he had anticipated Usyk's triumph. He expressed skepticism about Fury's boxing prospects going forward and said the fighter was declining. Hart emphasized how near Fury was to a stoppage by mentioning that the 9th round was very concerning for Fury. Hart claims that the bell prevented Fury from losing that particular round. He restated his opinion that Fury was past his peak and expressed doubt that a rematch was absolutely necessary. Hart speculated about Usyk's future and said that he would probably win much more convincingly if they fought again in October. Hart considered the few choices left to the recently crowned undisputed world heavyweight champion and ruled out a third matchup with Anthony Joshua in light of Joshua's 2 defeats at the hands of Usyk. Hart recognized that interest in a rematch in London might still exist, but he still thought Usyk would win. Hart praised Usyk and declared him the best heavyweight since Lennox Lewis as he wrapped up his research. This glowing compliment highlighted Hart's respect for Usyk's ability and achievements in the boxing world. Former boxer Johnny Nelson also gave his thoughts on the bout, claiming that Usyk's victory was fully merited. He emphasized that both boxers have to put in a lot of effort and give it their all. He commended Usyk's ability to repel Fury's blows and stick to his plan of attack the entire fight, calling him dependable. Nelson criticized Fury's strategy, saying it was a big mistake for him to concentrate on showboating and outboxing Usyk instead of using his stature and fighting prowess.
I think Oleksandr Usyk, what a man! What a feat he achieved. Because he had to dig in deep. It wasn't just one-way traffic.
Nelson noted that Fury's attempts to get into Usyk's head by showboating were fruitless. He emphasized that Fury disregarded his physical attributes, which had previously made him a formidable boxer, such as his size, reach, and strength. Nelson observed that Fury lacked the attacking ferocity that had won him fights in the past, especially against Deontay Wilder, and that his performance throughout the fight was uneven. In considering Fury's future, Nelson voiced skepticism over the likelihood of a rematch. He suggested that Fury could struggle to mentally recover from this defeat and could perhaps contemplate quitting from boxing. Nelson hinted that Fury might not be able to return to the ring with the same level of confidence if his faith in his own skills is damaged. Nelson discussed the dynamics in Fury's camp as well, critiquing the overabundance of voices and yes men, which he claimed may have contributed to Fury's less than ideal performance. He emphasized the value of having knowledgeable and trustworthy advisors who can offer helpful feedback on a possible rematch. Nelson said that Fury would have to switch to an entirely different approach that prioritized offensive aggression. He thought from the beginning that Fury would probably lose again if he did not alter his strategy. Boxing legend Evander Holyfield, who had earlier predicted a victory for Usyk, recently reviewed the fight. Nelson concluded by discussing the fight's broader implications, including comparisons between Usyk and other heavyweight greats. Nelson expressed doubt about any current heavyweight's ability to defeat Usyk, given his superior boxing intelligence.
That's my first time ever seeing him get hurt that bad, and man, he showed me he can fight inside as well. And I'm talking in the Usyk, that's my first time seeing.
Holyfield gave both fighters high marks for their performances, saying that the bout demonstrated their skills and tenacity. Holyfield noted that he had never seen Tyson Fury injured that severely during a fight. He emphasized Fury's internal fighting prowess, which Fury tested against Usyk. In a similar vein, Holyfield was taken aback by Usyk's remarkable recovery from injury, something he had never witnessed before. He underlined that both boxers shown their tenacity and flexibility, two qualities that are essential to the sport. Holyfield noted that Fury appeared at ease for the first 6 rounds of the battle, but that changed when Fury sustained a blow to the nose. It seems that this incident turned the tide in Usyk's favor. Holyfield said that both boxers had to adapt to the difficulties they encountered because the sport is full of unexpected situations. He commended them for their capacity to adjust and carry on battling, which showed that they wanted to prevail. Holyfield talked on Usyk's accomplishments and the importance of becoming the unchallenged champion in 2 weight classes. He acknowledged Usyk's performance as a tremendous feat, stating that it reinforced Usyk's reputation as the only champion in the heavyweight class. Holyfield highlighted the prestige and recognition that come with holding a title like this by relating it to his own experience of being the undisputed champion. Lennox Lewis, another great character, experienced the same thing as Holyfield did not. Lewis foresaw a frenzy, triumphant.
I thought it was a great fight. I thought both of them fought good. I thought Tyson was leading the way, and then he got caught. His hands was down.
Lewis emphasized a number of important details about Fury's performance and the fight's dynamics. Lewis started out by expressing his excitement and anticipation for the fight. He gave both boxers credit for their efforts, saying that the bout was excellent and demonstrated their talents and willpower. But Lewis called attention to a critical moment that altered the course of the fight. Fury's being caught with his hands down. Lewis stated that Fury was controlling the fight and doing a good job up until a crucial point when he was caught with his hands down. Usyk was able to take advantage of this defensive blunder and turn the tide in his favor. Lewis underlined that boxing requires a strong defense, and Fury's inability to do so at a crucial moment hurt him. Lewis stated that he needed to rewatch the fight in order to offer a more thorough analysis, but he insisted that Fury's hands being downplayed made him more susceptible to Usyk's accurate and potent blows. This defensive blunder broke Fury's flow and gave Usyk the upper hand, which affected the performance as a whole. Lewis commended both combatants for their efforts to an entertaining and competitive encounter. He acknowledged Fury's abilities and skills, but underlined that even a minute break in concentration and defense can shift the course of a fight. Lewis' observations emphasized how crucial it is to stay focused and take a firm defensive stance the whole fight. Meanwhile, veteran boxing promoter Bob Arum caused a stir when he insisted that Tyson Fury had prevailed in the match. Rumor had it that Fury had done enough to win the fight, and he was looking forward to a possible rematch. Arum started off by complimenting the fighters on their skill and calling the fight a solid duel, though he acknowledged that two judges scored the bout differently, which gave Usyk the victory by decision. He strongly claimed that he thought Fury had won. Arum brought up the disparity between his assessment and the judges' scores when he was questioned about the likelihood of a repeat. Arum voiced his enthusiasm for it to happen. He displayed faith in Fury's capacity to avenge the loss, indicating that he believed Fury had the required skills and determination to overcome Usyk in a subsequent bout. Arum's confidence regarding Fury's chances in a rematch demonstrated his faith in the fighter's talents. Arum also talked about particulars of the altercation that would have affected the judge's ruling. He recognized that Fury let Usyk re-enter the fight in the middle rounds, but he pointed out that Fury had won 5 of the first 6 rounds, building an early advantage. Despite the judge's decision, this change in momentum may have been very important in determining how the judges scored the fight. Arum persisted in his belief that Fury was the legitimate victor. It appeared as though he was saying that Fury's performance in the first few rounds proved how dominant he was and that the second half of the fight did not take away from his overall accomplishment. What are your opinions on the reactions? Arum's remarks indicated his long-standing support for Fury and his conviction that the fighter could overcome this setback. Do you share Bob Arum's opinions? Was this a victory for Fury? Tell us in the comments below. All of that for now. Remember to subscribe to and like the channel. To ensure that you never miss any more videos like this, turn on the bell for the most recent notifications. We appreciate your time and we'll see you in the next video.